What's up, everybody? It is episode 51. It's Tuesday again. You know what that means. Time for another comic conversation. Joined here once again with the illustrious panel -1 for now. Hopefully he'll be joining us in a few. We got Chris and Justin. This is episode 51, so we just passed a milestone of the 50th episode, which is awesome. And next week, so we're kind of sandwiched between two milestones. Next week will be episode 52, which if you put all of them back to back, that's a full year through of episodes. So that's pretty cool, right?
That's a lot. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot of episodes. Awesome. We've already passed our year. That was a while back, but we took breaks and everything, so
right.
That's why that is. But let's go ahead and do a little bit of catch up here. So I'm sure a lot's happened for you guys. So let's start with Chris. How's it been for you since our last show?
It's been pretty good. Just doing a lot of trying to catch back up. But like I've because of my daughter being in the hospital, I bought books, but I didn't read them all. So I have a lot of catching up to do. So just trying to do that. Keeping an eye on my top 10 list. Getting ready for Boston Comic-Con, which I still have to do. There's a lot of things I have to sort through, see what autographs I want to get and how I want to approach it all. But overall, it's just fun. And then in between, just before Comic-Con is my wife's birthday on top of that. So and my nephew's birthday actually is today. So it's just like, it's just been a lot of things going on. My nephew is down in, he's down in Florida at Disney. So it's just like, when he comes back, I guess there's going to be a party and everything. So it's just one of those things where it's just like, my weekends are pretty packed up, and then just kind of, trying to find a little bit of space to be like, okay, like Boston Comic-Con this and comics that, and but right now I'm enjoying life. Everything's really been fun.
Sweet.
Nice.
All right, I'm glad to have you here and amongst all that craziness going on. Yeah. How about you, Justin? How are things?
Good, man. I just found out there's a con 2 Saturdays from now, like close to here, and it's one of those like it's another $5 con. I'm going. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Spoiled.
Man, yeah, I'm pumped about it. So I just found out today. If it's anything like the one I went to with Comically Flawed like just a few weeks ago or whatever, you never know what you can find for cheap.
It'll be
Dollar Bin Madness. Right? 50% off long box madness.
Jesus.
So yeah, just pumped about that. Other than that, just normal stuff, picking up books, reading books. Needing to go through all the books and reorganize them. That's an endless cycle that I run into.
Yeah, it's never ending.
No, man. It never ends because there's always a new volume of something or whatever, or you pick up back issues, and man, it's a hard life for us comic collectors.
True. Constant reorganization.
It's a hard back life.
It is.
It is such a burden. But we carry it well.
First world problems.
Yep.
Yeah. So was that common in Atlanta, or
it is?
A drive?
No, it is. It's actually in Cartersville, Georgia. So north of Atlanta, actually a little north of me, but not too far. So it's one of those kind of outliers. So hopefully it'll pull in maybe some like dealers and sellers from Alabama and stuff like that. Who knows?
Sweet.
Could be good. Could be good. Like I said, I found that thanks to the list that Jesse provided us for like some southeastern cons. So
yeah, see,
yeah,
that's cool though. That's real cool.
It was a pretty comprehensive list.
Yeah,
covered a lot of states and stuff. So
there's a lot of stuff there. So I'm pumped about that.
Sweet. Sounds like a good time. So I went to a con this past weekend on Saturday only, and it was a lot of fun. Met some cool people. Worked my buddy doing the booth with the retro game I've told you guys about. So that was a lot of fun. Got some. Excuse me. Had some chips earlier. Got one caught in my throat. Got just a few books, not a whole lot of books. I could have gone back on Sunday, but I was just too beat from the one day. So that was cool. I'll make a video about that. So I don't want to bore you guys too much with that now. But that was pretty much the highlight there for me. So that's it for me. Let's give some shout outs. God damn it. I got to mute myself for a second.
Breathe, Jesse, breathe. Breathe.
It
happens. It's okay.
All right, so let's give some shout outs to Undisputed Frost is here, Fish Tropic, Jason Smith, Seeking Nearman Comics, Comically Flawed is here with his Blue Wrench. We also got a few other people. Blackpool, I saw Blackpool earlier as well. Quite a few already with us.
Yep. Undisputed Frost, Seeking Nearman Comics, Fish Tropic.
NLC. NLC's here. Yeah, see? And Jason Smith wants some Taco Bell, I guess.
I think he's referring to the little dog in my lap.
That's not a question. You're asking him if you want Taco Bell.
Oh, yeah, it is.
I just want to clear that up for Jason. All right. So
I got you.
Yeah. So if you look at the description for the video, we have a list of topics we're going to go over tonight. Some cool stuff that a lot of movie and TV related news, right? Some Star Wars stuff, Wonder Woman, of course, some Valiant news, some stuff on the TV side with Marvel. And then, a couple of things, of course, with the comics. We're definitely going to get into some new books for tomorrow. So let us know in the chat what you guys are most looking forward to for tomorrow, and we'll touch on that later in the show. First thing on the list is to talk about Bloodshot, but I wanted to mention a couple things first that I didn't put on the list, but I found today. One of them is that Ant-Man and the Wasp, the plot synopsis for it was finally revealed by Marvel. So I thought that was pretty cool. Basically, it says, in the aftermath of Captain America Civil War, Stephen Lang, which is, of course, Paul Rudd, grapples with the consequences of his choice as both a superhero and a father. As he struggles to rebalance his home life with the responsibilities of Ant-Man, he's confronted by Hope Van Dyne and Dr. Hank Pym with an urgent new mission. Scott must once again put on the suit and learn to fight alongside the Wasp as the team works together to uncover secrets from their past. So that's the official synopsis there. Pretty cool. And if you couple that with the news of, that we talked about on the last show, I think it was, for the cast and everything, looking to be a pretty interesting sequel, right?
Yep.
And then the other thing I wanted to touch on just really briefly is that Ian McShane is going to be joining the Hellboy reboot through Lionsgate. David Harbour's already on to play Hellboy. Basically, that's going to be, like I said, a reboot, but it's a new story with a medieval sorceress who's trying to destroy humankind. So he's trying to, go against her. And then McShane's going to play the Hellboy's father, his adopted father.
Oh wow!
That should start.
He was good. Did he pass on?
Who?
The first guy that played Hellboy's dad. He was like super old though, so I don't know if he passed away but he did a great job.
Father.
Yeah. Is Professor Broom is his name. But that should start filming in September, so that's coming up. All right, so that is what I wanted to mention for that. Like I said, that wasn't on the topics, but figured I'd throw that in. That stuff kind of either came out today or I saw it today. So first up is that Jared Leto's in talks with Sony to be Bloodshot for the movie. What do you think of that? I mean, it's
so I'm confused about that. Because what is Jason David Frank doing? Is he doing like Bloodshot for like an independent film thing or something, or what?
I'm not sure.
Because he's done a ton of Valiant stuff as Bloodshot.
Oh no, he's going to be Angelo. He's the protagonist. No, that would be... I don't know.
I'm confused.
They're both going to be in it.
Nice.
How about that? Let's go with that. They're both going to be in it.
Maybe one of them's going to be Rye.
It could be.
Future Bloodshot.
I know it's going to be directed by Dave Wilson, who's part of Tim Miller's crew.
Mm-hmm.
Blur Studios. It's
yes.
The Deadpool director. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so Jason David Frank is Bloodshot in the Bat in the Sun web series.
There you go.
So, small screen, big screen.
Yeah, this is through Sony.
Yep.
Yeah. So this will be. It was basically Valiant and Sony had a deal they did with about 5 films. The first one's Harbinger, and then this one will be obviously Bloodshot. So they're hoping that it's kind of build something out for him. So I don't know. I think he might do well with it. I'd like to see more of him in Bloodshot versus him as the Joker. So.
I mean, that's the thing. If he's going to be Bloodshot, I mean, Bloodshot's a more serious character than the Joker would be. He's not that crazy psychotic thing. So he may have a better role in this as being something that's more down to earth rather than just over the top roles. I feel like he's gone ahead and tried to make a career of being over the top with certain things, and now he's just I think he kind of stepped too far outside the role and was just made some stupid decisions as on how to play Joker. And now get him something that's more grounded and let him play that and see. I mean, if it doesn't work out, then he won't be around for a sequel if they have one. So I think I mean, is it fair to go ahead and just throw him in the trash because he didn't have one bad performance? I don't know. I mean, depends on how bad it was. I mean, I don't know if you guys feel like it's bad enough that he did such a bad job that he should never be allowed to act in anything comic or hero related. I think you give him this one last shot, and if he messes it up, then just you know what, start doing dramas or something, dude, because you're not built for this. You got to go.
Yeah, he is kind of skinny to be Bloodshot.
Yeah, something's gonna have to happen. But I mean, I wouldn't rule him out. Like the Joker that we saw of Leto was it was very edited. We didn't even see the majority of the stuff they shot of him. So we don't. I mean, we saw a chopped up version that wasn't that good. But I like him as an actor. I guess I've seen him in some good stuff. So I give him a shot as Bloodshot, but yeah, he needs to put on some mass. He needs some protein shakes and some CrossFit.
Yeah, he's a little bit too small. That's one thing I wanted to say too. That he's a small dude. He's not gonna get buff like that. That's like Topher Grace cast as Eddie Brock. It's just Eddie Brock is an Olympic style. He was at one point like almost an Olympic weightlifter. It's just you can't put Eric Foreman in as Eddie Brock unless you're gonna juice him up or he's gonna be CGI and just a talking head,
Right.
Yeah. He could talk to Sly Stallone and get some anabolics.
Oh, he could talk to a lot of people and different stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they're saying the same thing in the chat, so it's pretty funny. So next thing, I guess we can move on. We kind of all in agreement there. I guess I'll just say I'm definitely gonna check the movie out. Whoever is Leto or whatever. Bloodshot's cool. So,
well, I mean, that's the thing. It's I would think. I mean, there's actual money behind it, so this is a good push for Valiant. I mean, those movies are going to be worth checking out just to see how they tell those stories.
Yeah, because I think they have a lot more freedom and license to do what they want to do with those than Marvel or DC has. Because Marvel and DC have I mean, there's so much rooted into those characters. Valiant doesn't have a lot of different properties outside of the comics that anybody would really gravitate towards. So for them to take chances and risks, those are going to be the more adventurous type movies to see what they actually go ahead and do. So it could be pretty fun to see what they come up with.
Yeah, and it seems like Sony is kind of hooked on the rated R bug right now, so that will definitely play in its favorites too.
Yep.
Yeah. Hopefully Sony doesn't mess it up though.
Yeah. I mean, they have to let the reins go a little bit.
Yeah.
One of their problems is they hold stuff too close to their chest.
Yep.
Get
true.
Execs kind of involved in there, and that's what happened with a lot of the Warner Brothers, even the Fox too. But they're all learning to let go a little bit, let the creators create. So Wonder Woman 2 got a release date finally, which is 12/13/2019. So you got a couple years to wait for that, which is not unexpected, but that was one of those mystery slots for a while. So got that going. So that's good. And I think Patty Jenkins will definitely be back for that. It seems like Wonder Woman's shaping up to be the Tony Stark of the DC universe. Like, you know, put her out there. She's like the main character that things are going to be kind of circling around for a while, you know, based on the success of the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm excited. Like, what was the actual date?
I said December what? December 13th, 2019.
Okay. So 3 Decembers. Okay.
Yeah. So kind of along the same lines of that, just about a year prior to that, December 18th of 2018, we're going to be getting the Aquaman movie. And something that came out, I'm kind of going off on a little different topic here, but we decided to put, and this is kind of one of the two things that have killed this movie for me, the Bumblebee movie, the Transformers spinoff, on that same weekend as Aquaman. So you got John Cena playing the lead role in Bumblebee. At the same time, they're releasing it the same weekend as DC's Aquaman.
Yeah.
So that's going to kill that movie more than the franchise has already been killed, if you ask me.
Yeah. What was funny too is I was in I had seen on a Facebook group, there were a lot of people that were just really like disappointed, like, John Cena, what are they doing in this franchise? What's wrong with them? And I'm like, at first I was just like, you know, like,
I can't see him in that role.
I tried my best to be like, you know what, just let people rant. But I was like, if you really thought, I mean, if you've come this far and you didn't stop at Transformers 2, you've come this far to see good movies, you know, from this franchise, and your biggest complaint is that John Cena is going to be in it. You've done this to yourself. Don't get mad at John Cena. Don't get mad at anybody else. You've done this to yourself. You've had, what is it, like now 4 bad movies in a row. You have to know these things suck. Don't go see them.
Yep.
Oh, it's definitely going to play not in its favor. They're being really stubborn with the release date, right? That's kind of one of the things that with the Valerian movie that made it basically flop so hard was they had so much opportunity to move the date, and Luc Besson said no, keeping it on that date. So it comes out on the same weekend as Dunkirk, right?
Yeah.
The Christopher Nolan movie that's like up there saying like Oscar worthy and all that. Mm-hmm. So I mean, people don't go see 2 movies in one weekend, you know. So it killed it. The release date killed, among other things, but it was one of the things that killed it.
Absolutely. And they need to start realizing, like, I mean, stuff like that. It's just it's almost like a warning. Just look, you don't want to release it with this. I mean, there's no reason to even go about it. It's just like, you know, once you do the research, it's like, all right, listen, the next week we'll get it when the other one's slowing down. We'll do well. You know, it'll be something new and fresh. But you know, I don't know why people some of the, I don't even want to say smaller movies. Just I don't know why some studios think that they can compete with some of these, like, you know, big like anticipated movies. It's just like, you know, we're gonna release something the same week as Infinity War. Okay, well, then you just wasted a whole bunch of time and money putting something that's going to get absolutely obliterated at the theater.
Yep.
Exactly. So hopefully they'll. Oh, actually, I don't care because I'm going to go see Aquaman that weekend. So
yeah, me too.
They can take their Bumblebee.
I wonder if that's going to be the end of that franchise. Probably not, though, because I mean, at this point, I figure the threshold for money is got to be so low. It's just like, look, if it makes like $30 million, that's enough to make another one. Let's just turn them out.
He's been quoted as saying he's got like. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying the thing with the Transformers movies is it doesn't even matter how successful they are here. They're hugely successful in Asia.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they make all of their money back plus some there, enough to keep the franchise going, which is killing us.
I know.
Exactly. It's like, stop telling them the wrong thing.
You're killing my childhood. You're killing my childhood.
He said he's got like 17 scripts in the works.
Oh.
That would be 17 unique movies, spin-offs or whatever else in that franchise.
You know what it is? But one of those, at least, let's do law of averages. I would say at least 10% of those have to be something decent. Just, you know what? Just take all the good parts from all 17 and just make one really good. Actually, just make 2 really good movies out of it. That's all you got to do. but they won't because they're greedy and they're like, oh, we could just keep making money off this.
That's right. All right, enough Transformers. Back to Wonder Woman 2. Okay, kind of got off on the sidetrack there. So yeah, it's December. It'll be perfect time for the holiday season, Christmas, and everything. Will be a couple weeks after that. A lot of people on vacation. A lot of hype around Wonder Woman. I think that she'll be one of the highlights of Justice League coming out this year. Her movie will be great. I'm sure we'll see a lot more of her. So having a high hopes for that. But basically, they're saying it'll be taking place in the 80s. Maybe she'll go against somebody with like a USSR type of a villain.
Ooh,
but also she'll be in America. It'll take place in the United States, and that was one of the big things that some people were had voiced with the first one was, oh, she's Wonder Woman, she should be in America, she's American hero type of thing. So
no, she's not.
No, I know. Yeah,
I know. I hear what you're saying. I'm just saying.
But that will kind of placate those people who said that. So,
do we know what era this one's going to be set in?
80s, 1980s.
80s. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I remember hearing that.
Cold War type of time frame.
Yeah, it makes sense too. Just because if you're going to go, so World War One and World War One and Two are closely related. I guess you can kind of And then Vietnam is kind of you don't want to go into a Vietnam era Wonder Woman. She didn't really, there wasn't too much going on with her in that point. So 80s is when she kind of had that resurgence.
Her like in the jungle with like an M60 and a red.
Yeah, there's that one that she's just dressed up shooting at people. I'm like, ooh, But I think that 80s is the right time for her, just because that then she can kind of, like you said, go out to the Cold War. Kind of just bring everything, more. I guess is their plan, if they can have enough sequels, to bring her up to modern time, I guess.
I would think, but as they're doing like the period pieces, they're like assuring that we're getting a solo Wonder Woman movie each time here. So that's kind of a good thing, because it seems like that's fine. I think the lesser known, like little tangent here, the lesser known Justice League members shouldn't get solo movies. They should just all get team ups.
Yeah.
The Trinity can have their solos. Everybody else is a team up movie.
Yeah, let people kind of learn who these people are, their backstory,
right?
Type of stuff first. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pumped for another Wonder Woman. The first one, they got me with the first one. So
yeah, exactly. So
they did.
Okay.
One of the other things,
chance to redeem themselves.
Yeah, one of the other things that I think is good for the franchise as a whole, and this is just my opinion, you guys feel free to disagree with me, but apparently, because it started basically with the tragedy that the Snyders experienced back in March. We talked about that a few shows back.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of taking more of a permanent step back.
Yeah,
their role with Warner Brothers will be what they're calling limited.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll still be involved. They'll still have creative influence. They'll still be getting directorial credits and everything.
Yeah,
probably working on scripts, but it'll be in a much more diminished capacity. So that may mean Whedon and Nix and Reeves and all these other people will kind of take more off of that plate. So
yeah,
I think that's good news. I like that.
Too.
Yeah,
I think that it's not cool that it had to be something tragic that got him to kind of get back. But I think in the end, this is what a lot of people wanted, just because his way of telling the stories and everything kind of just seemed to not evolve. It was just kind of mostly similar formula over and over again, and it wasn't working. It just wasn't it wasn't catching the audience. So I think that having a new, fresh take on it, kind of having other people be at the helm of these things is going to help them, tell a story and something unique to each character. Not something that's just kind of like, all right, same formula, just throw these characters in and hope that it works.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Anything on that, Justin?
No, I'm good. It's just sad that they have to step back.
Yeah,
but
it's the reason why, but
I think they'll be like more of like consultants more than anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just something so they can stay connected to the project, so that when they feel they're ready to come back, they can easily just step back into whatever, you know?
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is that, you know, like I was saying earlier, I mean, for them to see maybe a different approach to it, because maybe it's one of those things where you are too close to it, you've done it too many times, and you just like, all right, this is the way we tell the story. But then you see someone else do it, and like, oh wow, like this, so this is how you tell it. Now, if I add a little bit of my style with this, that could be pretty cool. You know, just having those collaborations and stuff could probably make for something that's a lot more entertaining. So, you know, I think we have to. I mean, we're I think all looking at it from a positive. You know what I mean? And I think that's where you kind of have to go with it, where it's just like, you know what, this could be a positive thing. Let's see where it goes, and it builds up excitement to see what they have coming next.
Yeah. I really hope Whedon steps in and takes a bigger role, not just doing the, you know, additional shooting and stuff that he's doing now. You know, he gave us the Avengers, and yeah, I don't want a, you know, a Marvel DC movie, but I think that he would be able to, you know, easily step into a big budget, massive superhero franchise and be perfectly comfortable there because he's already done it, you know? So I think he's a great choice to take lead on the whole franchise. And the other thing, you know, they're kind of really putting a lot into the Bat family and the Batverse, you know, Batgirl and Nightwing, and, you know, we're going to talk about it in a second, but, you know, Matt Reeves Batman leading to something beyond what it is. And then, you know, some of the others that they have coming out too, with like Harley and Joker and stuff, you know. So they're doing a lot with the Batverse, and that's not necessarily, you know, part of what Snyder's building. I mean, it isn't. It isn't.
Right.
It's all kind of fitting into place. You know, it's shaping up to all the pieces are finally settling to where they should be, and it's starting to feel really right for their universe. That's how I'm looking at it. So, yeah, good, cool. All right, so the next thing on our list is John Wick. You guys all saw John Wick 1 and 2, right?
Yep.
I have not seen 2 yet.
No. Okay.
No, I'm slow to that party, but
it's good.
Okay.
I heard it was awesome.
I
heard that, like I was actually kind of apprehensive to see the first, but you know, it really was good, and everyone's like, oh, the second one's so much better, man. You got to check it out. So, you know, definitely a cool movie.
Yeah, absolutely. It is so good, and people like it so much that they are. There's plans to build out the world, so they're going to have other characters. There's a script floating around with Lionsgate called Ballerina, which it'll be kind of like John Wick in the universe, probably somebody he knows, but it'll be like a female version of him. So you're looking at something like La Femme Nikita, or, you know, something along those lines, female assassin.
Cool. As long as they don't cast Charlize Theron, because she's apparently like the only female spy in Hollywood.
No, that's not true. But you know what would be funny too is that if they did cast her, that would be probably, I think, the third or fourth movie that her and Keanu Reeves have been, you know, the male and female leads in, and you know, potential love interests in, which is funny. I mean, it's funny that you mentioned her, because that honestly, like, that's one of the first names that popped in my head. I'm like, wow, they put her in that. I mean, they're familiar with each other. They can, you know, do it again and everything like that. But I mean, there's bound to be plenty of people that could play that role. It just depends on what we're looking at.
I'm just saying, like, see, if you look at like female spy movies over the last like X number of years, they normally go to her.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see though.
Who else could do it? The Resident Evil chick.
Mila?
Oh, Mila Jovovich?
Mila Jovovich, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'd watch it. Yeah, I'd be in for that.
Trying to think.
Yeah. So next month there's going to be a John Wick comic.
Yeah, I saw that.
Released through Dynamite. It's going to be by Greg Pak. You know,
nice.
You guys know him. So that should be pretty cool, right? Definitely something to look forward to there.
Yeah, I'll definitely pick it up. I mean, it's through Dynamite, so get ready for at least 6 variant covers.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be more about his backstory too.
Nice.
So there'll be a lot of questions about that.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think Greg Pak did World War Hulk, right?
Yeah.
So Some good stuff in there.
Yeah. So he did a Planet Hulk too before.
Planet Hulk, that's the one.
Yeah.
Planet Hulk.
Yeah. So that's cool. I know that there's I was going to say like 7 or 8 different covers already. So like to Justin's point,
Really?
imagine in a few weeks there'll probably be a few more, store exclusives out there, but
true.
That should be pretty good. Yeah. So another thing, did I put it on the list? I don't remember, but the director for Bond, the 25th 25th movie, is the front runner is Yan Demange. So I don't know who he is or what he does, but I like the fact that the players are falling into place for the movie. That's a really good sign. When, you get your director, scripts, being worked on. Next thing we're going to hear about, Daniel Craig, coming back and the other cast. So it's falling into place, and that's exciting for me because I love that franchise. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm pumped for that. Like, it'll be good once we finally get the confirmation that Craig's coming back, and then it can like move ahead very quickly.
Yeah, I don't remember. We talked about the release date a while back. I don't recall what it was just offhand, but it's going to be like it's got to be 2019. It can't be 2018.
Yeah.
So, cool. So the other thing that I wanted to mention as well, actually, it's kind of tied in a little bit of Star Wars stuff. Let's do some Star Wars talk. We don't do that nearly enough on the show. So, a lot of people are saying that we will get a new trailer for The Last Jedi in August, and guess what? It's August now, so hopefully we'll get one now, and then a final one later in the fall, probably like October. They're saying. So,
I can't wait.
Yeah, they're really holding everything, like we're talking about the other ones, holding it close to their chest in terms of like leaks and everything.
Yeah.
So I was hoping we'd get something at Celebration, and I was hoping for D23, but not really much. We got a good look at Snoke recently. You saw him as like the non-hologram Snoke.
Yep.
Yeah, you saw that? Okay, cool.
Like a burnt hot dog.
Yeah. What they're saying is exactly. He's far more like fearful and scary than the Emperor, Palpatine, and also Luke has an artifact from Vader that he's looking for. So that's why he's really interested in Luke right now. So there is that. And then Benicio del Toro's character. Are you familiar with anything around him? I mean, DJ, but that's about all people are saying.
Yeah, no, I haven't. I didn't even know it was in the movie.
Yeah, he's in the movie. He's a mysterious, kind of character, sort of Han Solo-ish, but he's cast as at this point DJ. There's a bunch of theories about who he is, what he's doing. Now there was a book.
He's spinning some mad beats, yeah.
Yeah,
could be.
There was a book called Bloodline. Basically, it was talking about. It was focused on Princess Leia, and basically, it was talking about how, she knew this guy. His name was Ransom Casterfo, and he was mad at Vader because Vader destroyed his home planet, but he also became a friend of Leia. Ended up double crossing her, and he went to prison and stuff. But she also, that's how she lost her political career, was through him. So they're saying that this movie kind of will closely follow, like the movies that are coming out now. They're pretty much mirroring the original trilogy, if you noticed, right? So this one will kind of be more in line with one of those movies, which will be Empire. So kind of his character would be a little bit like Lando with the double cross, and then he eventually comes to their side. So you remember that scene I showed? I don't know if I showed it here or on Facebook, but there's a scene in the sizzle reel that they released for The Last Jedi with Finn.
Yep.
And Rose, who's the mechanic.
Yep.
In Empire, or rather First Order uniforms, right?
Yep.
So they're saying that that scene is part of the scene where they go in to break him out of prison, basically, and that might be on the giant ship.
That makes sense.
Nice.
Snoke.
That would work.
Yeah. So it's just a theory, but I think that's one of the more plausible theories that's come out about who his character is, DJ. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. I mean, like, you know, they're doing a lot, like you said, to keep it under wraps. So I mean, it's just like, you know, I remember too, like when they first saw him in the trailer, they was like, oh, who's he gonna be playing? So I mean, just getting those 2 letters is more than what we've had for the past couple months.
Exactly. A lot of people are like, oh, it's got to be Dark Jedi. But
Maybe. But so is that the only place that DJ has shown up? Is that Bloodlines or?
Well, he's not called DJ there.
Oh, okay.
He's Ransom Casterfo there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But, you know, based on who he is and the time frame and just kind of everything fell into place for it to make sense that his character is that. And that just probably could be like production code, you know,
Right,
sort of like, what did they call from Homecoming? What was her name? In the, they use the codes all the time. That's where I was going with that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, yeah, it could just be that. I just wondered. Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So seems pretty cool. Yeah, the book was called Bloodline. Check that out. She's written a few books. The author there. So, and that is canon, by the way. Those books that came out, it is official Star Wars, you know, canon. So that character does take place in this universe. So there you go. Speaking of same universes, there's a couple to talk about here. So the first would be that the Inhumans and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I think we might have already talked about this, are going to cross over.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. There's been Inhumans in AOS, so you know they're going to have some type of crossover. But the other one we could talk about as well is that Runaways, the Hulu show, actually takes place in the same universe as Netflix's, you know, Defenders world. So those 2, you know, 4 different shows or whatever you want to, you could say Defenders is more. Let's just say Defenders just for this. So there's the 2 crossovers there. So I think it's pretty cool. They're using multiple platforms, right? Like Hulu and Netflix are going to cross over.
Yep.
And then you got the others, you know, for
ABC,
and then, you know, Inhumans, you can actually tie in IMAX with that as well. So
yeah, but Inhumans is ABC also.
Yeah, so that's a little bit easier to cross.
That's easy for them. They're shot on the same set.
But yeah. Hulu and you know, Defenders is going to be tough.
Yeah, I see. Is that like a precursor to Netflix buying Hulu? Is that what's about to happen?
Could be. That writing is on the wall, it seems like.
I mean, and that would be pretty crazy, just because, you know, Hulu, I feel like has Hulu's been trying to branch that out and really trying to, you know, get things going, and I think that their shows haven't taken off quite as quickly as Netflix has. So I mean, if Netflix does end up acquiring them, there's a lot of content, a lot of shows that they could add into their library just from, you know, just straight out from the gate. And it's just like, you know, cancel the unpopular ones, take all the popular ones, and it's just like, all right, Netflix shows now. And then
that's the thing though, is like with if they were, I don't know why we're talking about this, that would just open them to actually having like more live TV shows and things like that.
Yeah.
Quicker turnaround, you know.
I'm also curious if you know, if they were to buy them, would that help them out with some licensing? Because of the fact that I don't know if Hulu has different licensing when it comes to TV shows and TV and movies and stuff like that. So, you know, would Netflix basically like swallow that up too and be like, oh, we have all this to add to our library too?
Who knows, man? Who knows?
Let's check it out and see.
These are research questions. Chris is going to come back next week and give us all the answers, everybody.
That's right. Yeah. So it'll be cool. We got some crossovers on the way for some new shows coming up. So
yeah,
good stuff to look forward to there. Works well for CW, crossing over all the shows. So I won't care. Right?
I think it does. Isn't CW now going to step it up to like 2 crossovers a year?
Probably.
Is that a rumor?
Yeah. All right. So let's move on to. We touched on it very briefly. Let's get back to it, and that's going to be Matt Reeves' Batman. Not only is Affleck staying, apparently there was some contract issues. He was contracted for the 3 movies, and we've talked about this before.
Yep.
Right? It was Batman versus Superman, Suicide Squad, and The Batman, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, not Suicide Squad. I can't think of my words today. Sorry, guys. I had a really long day at work, so
you're good, man.
My brain.
Batman vs Superman, The Batman, and Suicide Squad was the only other.
Justice League. There we go. Yeah, he's going to be in that. So that was the 3 movies he was contracted for. So that got worked out. So not only is he, staying with the universe, he's going to be doing a trilogy. Matt Reeves is doing a Batman trilogy starting with The Batman, and it's going to be leading to Big E's knows this already. He likes it. Batman Beyond, which will be kind of like into the sort of phase 2 for the DCEU. So that's pretty cool.
That would be really, really cool to see that on screen.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's a smart way to go about it, because then if you have to throw Ben in the trash, you just do it that way. Like, oh, guess what? Terry McGinnis is here, kid. You don't need you anymore. No, but it's also a smart way to transition him too, because a lot of what people have been bringing up about Ben Affleck and a trilogy and everything else, is that his age. He's going to be old. By the time they get to the 3rd movie, he's going to be in his 50s. Like, it's going to be bad. Hey, you know what? What better way to have him be old Bruce Wayne teaching Terry McGinnis how to do things? Like, that's actually a smart way to, move him into that trilogy. So if that's the way they go with it, that seems like it's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, he could be Terry's man in the chair.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Yeah.
But
I'd be down with that. I mean, I liked the original version of Batman Beyond. Maybe not some of the ways they've changed it up recently and stuff, but I would definitely go see a Batman Beyond movie. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a couple first appearances for him. So I don't know if you want the in-continuity ones or the ones before that, but
who knows?
Definitely look out for those. There's a few different ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like 3 different. If you look at Terry and then first him, well, I think that was the same issue. But then there was when he finally came over to DC canon.
Because he was just in the adventure books or something before that?
Yeah, exactly. Sort of like Harley, she had her first appearances and then she had her first in continuity appearance, same thing with him.
Gotcha. Yeah. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
So a couple comments in the chat. Comically Flawed agrees with Chris. Ben should have been thrown in the trash before Batman v Superman. NLC said Ben Affleck was a badass Batman. First Terry is Batman 700. Okay, there you go.
I have that.
Yeah. I'm trying to see more comments. Jackio talking about the crossover. He said Cloak and Dagger could cross over with S.H.I.E.L.D. and Inhumans.
Cloak and Dagger will get canceled after 4 episodes.
Yeah.
It looks horrible. No one's gonna watch it.
Flawed and NLC are going back and forth.
About Ben Affleck, he was just like, call him Ben Affleck was bad as Batman.
And then Jason Smith, in the midst of all this talk, he's talking about buying a car and a ring for his girlfriend.
Hey, well, congratulations and do your best.
Life decisions.
Well, you can propose to her at the movie and then drive her home.
There you go.
Iron Fist was horrible, but it's getting a 2nd season.
Iron Fist wasn't horrible.
There's a new showrunner. They got a new showrunner on that show.
Yeah, it wasn't horrible. It just like
you could tell it was very rushed.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
It is what it is. The second one should be better.
Finn Jones was talking about. We talked about it when it came out, like the week afterwards or whatever. He basically had 20 minutes before they shot the scenes to learn the choreography.
Yep.
For the martial arts.
Yeah, and
Well, that's because he was filming Game of Thrones on top of it. Like, he wasn't out of that series yet.
I think he'd already died. No, yeah, he hadn't died yet. No, you're right. You're right.
Yep.
Spoilers. Spoilers for a season ago. Crap, where was I going with that? Yeah, okay. After I learned that fact that he only had like no time to learn everything, then I watched it and I was like, oh, okay, this is really impressive now. You know? Because there's no way I could learn choreography like that in 20 minutes.
No. And you know what's funny is everybody's like, oh no, well, Jesse Henwick is so much better. Yeah, because Jesse Henwick is in Game of Thrones for like 2 seconds. Like she was in 2 episodes like the whole season for like maybe like 15 minutes the whole time. So it's just like she had plenty of time, you know, to get her shooting schedule to match up and everything like that. You know, it just was kind of a. I look at it where people just kind of shit on it because of what it was. You know, there was no big crazy villain other than the Hand, which seemed like a cop out. You know, he had his moments of being kind of annoying. You know, there's a lot of things that didn't line up the way you'd want it to. You know, if you're looking at, you know, Daredevil. And on top of that, too, we did get spoiled with Daredevil earlier that year. So it's one of those things where it's like, you know, you have to kind of take everything as it is. But, you know, with a new showrunner, maybe you get, I mean, and the fact that I guess, is this like his primary show? Like, is Defenders and Iron Fist going to be his primary thing that he's doing? Because if so, they have more time to work with him. They'll figure some things out. I'm pretty sure that they're going to go ahead and fix those problems.
I'm sure he'll be much better in Defenders.
Probably.
Yeah,
with the supporting cast.
A lot of people were saying.
Yeah.
We're 16 days away. 16 days away.
Did everybody finish that series all the way through?
Iron Fist?
Yeah.
I did.
I didn't. I got like maybe 8 episodes in, and it just started to go downhill. I didn't even bother to finish it.
You don't have that many left. Power through it, man. Just power through it. I watched the whole thing.
Do I have to?
Story, man. I watched it all.
It was like I think it was 9. It was the one that was directed by RZA.
Yep.
Where it was like the different fights, you know, and he had to work his way up through the different battles.
I liked, you know, like, I watched the whole thing and it was just like, it had its moments. Like I said, I think having the Hand as the villain was a big cop out. I think that really they didn't. I think that was a decision that kind of got made on the fly, where it's just like, you know what, we have the Hand and you're gonna fight them, and it's just like, well, but the last series was Daredevil. He fought with the Punisher and all types of stuff. It was just like, you know, and it was just awesome seeing that. So it's just like, you go from something that was like way up here to being like, you're gonna fight the Hand, and it's just like, well, there's no one single entity in the Hand that like makes them dangerous. It's just like them as a group. So it just kind of takes away from some of the you know, real, you know, struggle in the show, where it's just like, well, you're fighting this big group. What's the difference? Like, versus
we got the information that there are 2 parts to the big group.
Well, yeah, of course, but then
the good hand and the bad hand.
Well, exactly, yeah, but then you have to kind of take it with a grain of salt, because you don't know who's telling the truth and who's lying, because on the one hand, no pun intended, you know, the good part of the Hand, they're scumbags too, but then the bad part of the Hand is straight scumbags, but then on Kunlun, there's assholes there too, so it's just like everyone seems like they're just kind of lying and just kind of trying to really just brainwash everybody into thinking one specific way based on what group you belong to. And it's just that's where it started getting kind of convoluted, because it's just like, so who's good, who's bad, who's in between, like, you know, and that's where
like not even the show knows what it wants to do with the different characters and groups.
Exactly. And I mean, on top of it too, like, I mean, when you watch that again, I mean, if you have a chance to watch it again, or if you've watched it once and don't want to see it again, I understand. But if you look at it, the Meachums go from being like Joy goes from being really cool to like a real enemy of him, then back to cool, then an enemy again. And the same thing with Harold and the other one there. You know, it's just like you don't know how to feel about them, just because you know, at one moment they're assholes, and then the next moment they're cool with you, but then the next moment they hate you, then the next moment you're friends again. And you know, it's just like they try to run that spectrum too many times with a lot of different things. Because even Colleen Wing and you know, Danny had so many ups and downs. It was just like, you know, I mean, in these 3 episodes they're fighting, and these 3 episodes they love each other, and the next episodes they, it was just like just pick an emotion and go with it. Like, do I hate you? Yes. All right, that's how we're gonna do for the rest of the show.
Yeah, it's such a roller coaster ride. I hate it.
Yep, exactly.
So yeah, in a few days we'll see the Defenders, and that'll be very telling as to what to expect from the solo seasons coming up.
Yep.
What's the start date on that?
What?
The Defenders.
17th
Of this month?
Yeah.
Yep.
16 days away.
Nice. Okay. So it's a little bit of filler until we get Thor Ragnarok.
Pretty much.
But for that weekend before we kill all the episodes.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm gonna binge it.
Yep, I will.
I'll be done.
I think I'm gonna take that like Friday off just to go ahead and kill it.
Honestly, I think you go from that, then you wait another 2 months, and you get Stranger Things season 2. Then you go to Ragnarok.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. I mean, I'm actually really excited for what that's gonna be. And actually, if you're a horror fan, I guess, or just a fan of Stephen King, you have It that comes out next month too, and that actually looks pretty good.
It does. That last trailer,
it was pretty good.
They kept going, "We all float."
Yeah, that was little. I was just sitting there like, I mean, it made me like, my mother has the book, and I saw the TV movie way back in the day with John Ritter, and it made me go back and like start reading up on it and be like, because I got excited. I was like, this actually looks really cool. And the guy playing Pennywise, the makeup and everything, he looks pretty frightening.
Yeah, he does. When I first heard about it, I was like, not another, shitty reboot or whatever. But it's shaping up to look like they did it justice. So that's something I'm looking forward to. Speaking of looking forward to things, let me show you this. I'm sure you guys have all seen it already, but
what is
I
it?
need to show it here.
Stuff.
Yes, I've seen this.
Zazie Beetz says,
"Oh man,
I love it." She looks very good. Can you see it? Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She looks hot. There's no doubt in that. The thing that I have a problem with, I guess, is just it's such a departure from the character. It's just like it just looks so different. I mean, at first glance too, it's just like you look at it and it's just like that's pretty much just that's all they're gonna do with it. But I mean, who knows? Because maybe they're gonna put a little bit of CGI with it. You never know. But I mean, I look at it where it's just like I think people are gonna get over the look really quickly once she starts acting with the character. If she does a great job with it, that's what it's gonna be. But
well, we hope so. I mean, I hope that this isn't the final product, but I see Domino in her. Mm-hmm. It's just that eye, man. Like, you need the black around the eye. Why they can't do that? You know what I'm saying?
Well, because it's like you get punched in the face.
Well, no, it's like reverse Domino or inverse Domino.
Yeah.
Domino from.
I don't think she has to look exactly like.
No, she don't. But
for it to work, it's more like her attitude.
Yeah.
You do see, like you said, the essence of Domino in there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She's a beautiful lady. She looks. This is a phenomenal picture.
Oh yeah, but I don't think, and especially for people that don't know the character, they're not going to care. Like, this is just going to be Domino to them,
Well, that's true. I'm going to go back to what Big E says. Big E says that Hollywood makes movies for the casual comic book fan, not for comic book lovers.
Yeah.
And I see Domino in her, but one of the things that I kind of noticed on some Facebook chats is they were like, how's an assassin going to, kill people with hair like that? And I'm like, it's kind of a good point, I guess. Kind of stick out quite a bit. Trying to assassinate people, but whatever.
The whole thing behind it is that she looks hot, and she's she's gonna be I guess using that. I mean that's gonna be a big part of the movie. I can tell. You're gonna have a million Deadpool jokes about how she looks and everything like that. So
he's gonna address it, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, and he's gonna and that's gonna set up a lot of the comedy in the movie between those two. So it's just like, like I said, I think if she does well, if she kills it in that role, then it's not gonna matter what she looks like. Like, she's, I'm hoping that she just does well in it. I mean, she looks good in the costume and everything. So it's just like, you know, just give it a chance, see what happens.
Yeah, and you know, you got a really great, you know, creative team there, and you know, especially with Ryan Reynolds. You know, he as much as we liked the movie,
Yeah,
he probably likes it even more than we do. Like, you know, that's his baby basically. This is something that he has been working on bringing to life for years and years and years. He's not going, and he knows the books, he knows the characters and this world very well, like we do. And I don't think that he's gonna make a decision. Like, he let one of his friends go from the project. You know, that's how passionate he is about making sure that's right.
And I think that too. You know, when you look at it too, I mean, people, if anybody gets upset about this, I mean, Vanessa, Copycat, wasn't faithful to the comic either. I mean, Vanessa in the comic has blue skin and white hair and red eyes. Like, she's a shapeshifter, but she's kind of a you know, almost like an alien type, you know, complexion to her and everything. So, you know, it happens where they're just gonna, you know, they're gonna take liberties and they're gonna try to, you know, I mean, they gotta try to save some money somewhere. So if it's just like we're just gonna put her out like this and make, you know, her look this way, hey, that's what they're gonna do. But you know, her performance is probably gonna make up for all of it. So.
Look what they did with Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. They just took the name basically. Look at Blind Owl. Just basically just took the name. You know, she was pretty different.
Yeah. I mean, Colossus is expensive to put on a screen.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure she's going to turn out to be just fine in this role.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, as good as the first one is, or was, I have faith that they're going to do a great job with this movie, no matter who I mean, remember, we're also getting Cable.
That's true.
So we're getting, like, the key, like, X-Force founding members. We just need a couple more, and we got the whole team, you know?
That's true.
Yep.
They're definitely making room to set up for an X-Force movie, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. At this point, man, it would be so easy for them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Just need, Sunspot and...
like Shatterstar.
Okay, yes. People are talking about, oh, she doesn't look just like the comics, or, you know, these characters. Imagine if they had somebody who dressed up just like Shatterstar used to look.
Mm-hmm. With the headgear and the
exactly.
ponytail.
Yeah. Well, I just can't, like I said,
have the sword. That's all. The sword with two blades. That's all he needs to have.
Yeah, that he can do handstand.
Ponytail.
Yeah.
No, it's just she looks fine. It's just I don't know. Maybe if the eye was even circular, like I don't know. That's, you know, for somebody that grew up in the '90s, like all you guys, you know, reading this stuff, it's like a sore thumb. It just sticks out. But whatever.
No, at first glance, yeah, absolutely. Like, oh wow, this is what they did with it. But on the other side of it, it's just like, you know, there's been liberties. I mean, in every comic movie that's come out, there's been liberties with everybody. Nobody's been the exact, you know, replica of what you see on screen. I mean, even ones that came over and looked good, like even Holly. Holly was not an exact replica of the comics. So you had to change the comics to, you know, kind of match up what she looks like in initially what was the Arkham games, because her look in the comics now mirrors the Arkham games. So the Arkham games took the first initial steps with that, and then, you know, you went further with Suicide Squad, and so now it's just like, you know, everything's kind of come full circle with it. So I mean, maybe Domino's appearance is going to change in the books. You never know.
Jackie said it had a funny comment. He goes, "I choose Domino's hair over Medusa's."
It's true.
Yeah, there you go.
Choke you out.
100%. Yeah.
I think everybody agrees on that.
True.
Yeah. Even when her hair finally started to move a little bit, I'm still like, nope, not doing it.
Wrong.
Those TV VFX.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, it's not the first time they've changed the character by any means, and, you know, they know what they're doing. You know what? They know what they're doing. So.
You can complain if they make Juggernaut into if Topher Grace plays Juggernaut, then start yelling. Like, you know, this is bullshit.
or if it was an actual X-Men movie, we could maybe pick it apart a little bit easier. But Deadpool's got a little bit of street cred right now, so we'll let it go.
Exactly. You got Tim Miller and Ryan Reynolds. You know,
and you also assume that New Mutants is going to cross over, probably. I mean, if both movies continue to be successful, you could definitely get that as well.
Maybe. I mean, I feel like New Mutants is going to be a more serious tone than a Deadpool movie. I think that New Mutants, you're going to have New Mutants. I think seems like it's going to be like the future of the X-Men franchise. Like that's the characters you're going to see moving forward when they make new X-Men movies. It'll be kind of like a mesh of both teams.
Yeah. How funny would it be if New Mutants trumped Inhumans? You know, because Marvel Disney's trying to push Inhumans so bad. I mean, what if New Mutants just kind of trumps them and puts Inhumans further in the hole?
Well,
I'm all about the New Mutants, man.
And Inhumans really, I mean, they've wanted it for years. I mean, they've made so many, just Easter eggs in S.H.I.E.L.D. that's just like, they want this movie to be what they want this show to be an ongoing thing. The problem being is that, when you look at it, it's not shaping up to be what you'd hope it would be. And the thing is, the Inhumans, especially someone like Medusa, where you have all these outlandish powers and all these outlandish things that you see in the books, I think they got to find out that that's meant for the big screen. That's something that you need to have, months and maybe even a year of preparation to make something really good.
It was originally supposed to be a movie.
Exactly, and they canned it. They scrapped it because whatever issues they had. I remember Vin Diesel was supposed to be initially. Vin Diesel was rumored to be cast as Black Bolt, but they put the kibosh on that, and now it's on ABC, and
one whisper at a time.
Yeah, I mean we'll see what happens. I mean, the biggest question, I mean, and it's a hard one to make now. I guess we can speculate. Do you think it lasts more than one season? That's me.
That's a good question. I think they'll force it into 2 seasons.
Yeah.
I think the viewership will greatly decline, but they'll be like, "Oh, let's just push it out another season." So I think it'll go at least 2 seasons. Is my prediction.
Yeah, I mean,
3, I don't know, but 2, yes.
So 2, yeah. Actually, and this is, I don't know if you guys heard about this. I guess Haley Atwell was actually kind of vocal recently about her about what happened with Agent Carter, and she was saying that the show went well, and it was something where she was happy to do it and everything like that. But I guess the reason behind it getting canceled was basically like just like political within the ABC and everything, where they just were kind of like, well, we don't really see this moving forward. We don't, so they scrapped it before, and I guess that like people now have said like they wanted to see it keep going. She's like, in the movie she dies at 96. She's like, I could play this role for the rest of my life. So let's get a petition going to see if I can get this role. She's just trying to get a steady paycheck until she's apparently 96 and has a croak on screen. It's funny though, just because that show had a lot of promise. That show had, I think, more. I think it had more going for it than what Inhumans has right now. And they definitely axed that because they just figured it wasn't going to be. I think it was just focused on other things, obviously, like Inhumans, because they had pushed it so hard. But it would be kind of a shame if Inhumans does end up falling flat, and it's just like you had a good show that you axed to put this on, and no one really likes this. So
yeah, we'll have to see what happens with it. I don't know if I want to watch it. I really don't. Like, I don't want to watch it just to watch it, just so I can talk about it, which I want to end up doing so I can have an opinion on it.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to judge it without having seen it in its entirety, but I just can't get excited for it.
No. Because it's the Inhumans. You know what I mean? Who gave? Oh, yay! Background characters. All right, yay.
Were they even anything in the 90s? Because I don't even barely remember the Inhumans.
They were background. Like there was a lot of things. They just kind of showed up.
Yeah, they're all like B and C list characters.
Yeah. I mean, they had their due in like the 60s, and then a little bit more in the 70s, and then they kind of like faded away. And then, back in maybe 2003, 4, they just decided they wanted to bring them back. And I think that was more or less because of the whole rights thing. They realized that they wanted to stop making movies and they couldn't get the rights back. So they're like, all right, let's start putting these guys to the forefront. And you know, unfortunately for them, it's just not working out because there's not a lot you can do with. I mean, there's a lot you can do with them visually in a movie setting, absolutely, because you have them backing up other characters. You have crossovers and things like that. But it's just like on a TV show, episodic, you know, it's going to be hard to figure out what they do. I mean, who knows? You know, maybe they pleasantly surprise us. Maybe the first, you know, maybe the ratings after the first couple of weeks are huge, and people are like, oh, you know, and they dump more money into it and they do better. But you know, it's definitely something that I think, you know, they may have taken too much of a gamble on because they're not really. I would say they're not the best, most highly battle tested characters in this way, where it's just like, you know, like Captain America, you know, is going to do well. Spider-Man, you know, will do well. Inhumans is kind of that's a big roll of the dice. You have to figure out what it is that, you know, you have to figure out whether it's successful and whether it's not. I mean, to see 1 or 2 Inhumans on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., okay, yeah, that's kind of cool. But to have a whole show solely based on them, you know, and you know, yeah, and then you're gonna get rid of every other character that you've established before. It doesn't really make sense. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of build up until you get to that crossover point. Then you can kind of like, that's where I think you'll have a better show and a better rating for that 1 or 2 week crossover. Up until that point, though, I think you're just going to be treading water.
And, you know, it's funny that you talk about that because I forget who first created like Colossus and Wolverine and had those. Is he the one that drew those guys on the giant size back in the day? Giant size #1?
Wasn't it
Lin Wein? Yeah.
No, Cockrum was the artist and Lin.
Yeah, I think it was Cockrum. Yeah, because one of the things I remember reading was the his in his mind, his idea, Colossus was his like forefront character, and Wolverine wasn't even supposed to be as popular as he ended up being. As a matter of fact, he was more in his mind to be like a B-list character, and he just kept putting Colossus in the forefront of a lot of his covers, and just organically Wolverine just turned into the monster that he, you know, and properties and all kinds of book sales and all this other stuff. So it organically grew to be like that. And I'm just looking at them trying to force Inhumans on you, and it's like people are just rejecting it. There's just backlash. It's like you're trying to force this on us, and people want their characters to grow organically, you know.
Well, I mean, you never know. I mean, it's something where, you know, we're talking about this now, but who's to say, and, you know, by the time, you know, the first season break ends off, that we're not going to be, wow, what a great show. But, I mean, you just get the feeling based off the trailer and based on it just, there's a lot going against it. So it's just like, you know, we don't really know. And I really don't think that it's a show that they gambled a little bit too much on. I think that it's just one of those things. I think better movie than a TV show. Like you know, there's so many other characters they could have given a TV show to, just standalone single characters or other groups that they could have given a TV show to, and really just kind of you know, had something that I think people would gravitate quickly, you know, more over towards, rather than the Inhumans. The Inhumans is a really tough sell, and I think that they're trying to maximize on the fact that, you know, Ant-Man, you know, in terms of being, I mean, been around a long time, but in terms of a character, it's just like, you know, people don't know a lot about him, but, you know, hey, we'll see. You know, Doctor Strange, very popular character, but, you know, another one that people could kind of take or leave. You know, so I think that they just looked at that and like, you know what, we're going to gamble on these guys because people don't know a lot about them, so we have so much creative freedom to do whatever we want with them. And it's just like, yeah, but if people aren't excited for them, like, what's the difference? Like, I you know, that's the hottest part with it.
Yeah, they've been around for a long, long time too. So they've had a lot of opportunity, decades, to organically grow their popularity, and it just hasn't happened.
That's true.
I mean, obviously, there are people out there. You know, I don't want to say nobody,
right?
But, I mean, but does it warrant a whole entire season on primetime TV?
And that's the thing. So. You know, it's just like you look at as far as the teams go, look at the big 3 teams you have there: the Avengers, Fantastic Four, and the X-Men. There is no way in hell that Inhumans is going to surpass them. It just wasn't going to do it. I mean, people will look to those and be like, look, these teams are more interesting than this one. And it just has to do with the fact that, they rely so heavily on Black Bolt, who doesn't talk. That's a huge problem.
Yeah. Easy to write a script though.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Super. But hopefully that guy's not getting
the
picked by
silent
dialogue.
episode. Yeah.
you just sit there and just I mean, if he sneezes, then it's just like, oh, like it's just sound effect. Achoo! The car blows up,
That's so they saw the show.
and then it's just like Black Bolt, look confused. Run away. All right, scene done. Good. That's lunch, guys. Let's go.
Lockjaw
Lockjaw
was the best part of that trailer. So
Yeah. But
But you can put it this way: are you going to watch? What would you rather watch? Inhumans, the TV show from ABC, or Gifted, the TV show about mutants from who's doing that one?
that's FX, I think, right?
FX. Which one of those two would you more likely actually watch?
Oh no, exactly. And
Probably neither.
I'd probably watch Gifted.
Because Legion ended up being a better. Legion was another show that they kind of gambled on. They were just like, oh, Legion, is it going to be good?
Crazy.
And it was a good show. It was actually something that people were like, all right, these creative licenses you took worked out. So it's just like it's always a double-edged sword, and it's tough. So like to Justin's point, I mean, absolutely Gifted, because I saw what they did with Legion, and I'm excited. I want to see what they do with more mutants. I want to see more of them introduced, and then you grow that universe and have some crossovers. That would be kind of fun.
Well, see, and think about that though, is you've seen the Inhumans universe already. They've started it in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
And it hasn't impressed us to the point to where we're like, yeah, Human season 1 is gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Like I was more hoping for out of that show when they showed that the dead Kree warrior. Oh, we're gonna get Mar-Vell. All right, cool. Like that's what I was looking for. I was like, this is gonna be, and then they kind of took that Inhumans route instead of going Mar-Vell. I'm like, dude, no, Mar-Vell could be somewhere, and I don't care if you have to go back and be like, all right, this guy's dead, but like let's take a series back to the 70s, a period piece. Go from like the 70s into the 80s, and then he dies, and then he ends up on the slab in S.H.I.E.L.D. Like that would have been cool. I would have took that. You could have worked 3 seasons of that into television. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, I like the Ghost Rider arc as well. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean they have the potential to put all these different things. Like in the beginning when they had Deathlock, you didn't know it was going to be Deathlock, but then he became and it was just like there's a lot of potential there. I think that instead of just focusing on Inhumans, they should worry about this is just expand the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. universe to just have more Marvel characters, more cameos, and more little arcs with different characters popping up. Like that would be the smarter thing to do, just because S.H.I.E.L.D. is supposed to be this overall all-seeing eye basically. So let them see everything. Don't worry about making other shows or spin-offs. Just focus on this and expand that out, and then see. Oh, we were really excited to see Ghost Rider. Let's see a Ghost Rider show. That's how you make that, grow organically.
True.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if they're starting off on a different planet though, aren't they?
The moon, I thought. Right?
The moon. That's why they were filming in Hawaii.
Yeah. Attilan's on the moon.
Yeah. Filming in Hawaii to show them on the moon.
Well, they got the volcano. That's if you ever go there, it's like you can actually hike out to it. It goes over the road. There's an active volcano.
Yep.
And it's miles and miles and miles of like hardened volcanic ash, and it looks like an alien surface basically when you look at it. It's pretty neat. There's some areas where it's very like the methane gas coming up. It's very tough. You can't go near some of the parts, but it does look like the surface of another planet, once you get in the middle of it.
I'm good. I'm not going into no active volcano.
It's pretty cool.
I'll admire it for a postcard.
Chris ain't leaving Boston.
You can show it to me in a postcard, and I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh no, I can't afford to go to Hawaii. Hawaii is expensive. Just to get out there, that's a lot of money.
There's a part where you can hike out, and you can actually see. Like it's hardened on the top, the volcanic. There's like a shelf over it, but the lava is still flowing underneath, and it goes down off a little cliff and hits the ocean, and then you see like all the steam rise up.
Nice.
Mine look at a crack, and that would be the end of the Chris. That would be the end of the Boston Chris story.
Buckshot's gone.
Yeah.
Burnt to a crisp.
It's neat. I recommend it. I did one of the helicopter tours over the rim of it, like fly around. It's pretty cool. It really does look like an alien surface.
That's pretty cool.
So,
I mean, I don't know. I think with the show, we all have our reservations, so we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I will give it a look, and we'll see what happens from there. But I'm not excited for it. It's something that, like, if I'm home and it happens to be on, all right, I'll check it out. Other than that, though, I'm not marking it on my calendar. I'm not making sure that I'm in front of the TV every, what is it going to be, a Wednesday night or whatever. I'm not making sure that I'm there every night when it airs. Like, not like how I am with Game of Thrones, where it's like, all right, Sunday night, 9 o'clock, I'm planted in front of the television. Like,
that's right.
This is just kind of like, oh, this is on tonight? Yeah, let's check it out.
Wednesday night, man, that's when everybody's reading their comics.
It's true.
Not their Inhumans comics.
No.
The other thing that's crazy is the first 2 episodes are going to be on IMAX.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that makes me wonder if it's going to suffer after that.
Exactly. Like, I don't know, like us, I'm definitely not going to be paying IMAX prices for a show I don't even know I want to watch yet,
Mm-hmm.
Not at all.
That kind of kills it right there for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm not going to start watching it having missed the first 2 episodes already.
And that's such a like just weird thing. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna release it in IMAX, and it's like, well, why would you do that? Why would you put it in the movie theater for the first 2 episodes and then just toss it back to television? It's just like, you could have just made a movie. You already have the people here. Just make the movie.
Well, that's when you just go to YouTube and look at reviews of people that have seen it. I mean, you're going to get an honest opinion from them for the most part.
Oh, of course. I just think that, it's just funny to me. Like, you're going to have a television release date, but you're also going to release it in the theaters. It's like, if you're just going to release it in the theater, get a bigger budget, hire get more known actors than what you have on there, and then just make it a movie. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. I do like, we were talking about it before, about kind of they're really trying to do like cross-platform sort of, relationships, with the Netflix and the Hulu and all that, the streaming and the, TV and movies crossing over with TV and all that. So I like the idea of that, but I think in this case, it definitely doesn't work.
No.
It's going to kill it.
I mean, how do you go from, movie theater quality IMAX to, hey, it's going to be on your television screen? I mean, you might have a badass television, but it's just not going to do it justice.
Yeah, absolutely not. Something that's not doing justice for the Suicide Squad sequel is the fact that the showrunner there left, Jaume Collet-Serra.
Yep.
He's going to do Jungle Cruise with Dwayne Johnson.
That's right. He smelled what The Rock is cooking.
That's right.
Was that the director?
Yeah, he was the director of Suicide Squad, and he up and bounced because he wanted to make this movie with The Rock, which is, I wonder if that's more of a sour grapes type scenario, where it's just like, maybe he didn't feel the studio listened to him. Maybe there was too much, like maybe his vision was blocked from what he wanted to make, and was just like, you know what, I'm going to go somewhere where I can make the movie that, I want to make and not have so many hands in the cookie jar. I mean, that's what I think. Or that's where I think it goes from.
Or is that Disney money better than that Warner Brothers money?
Could
be.
I mean,
is he the same one that directed
building out a franchise, the Jungle Cruise?
Did he direct the first one, the first Suicide Squad?
No, that was David Ayer.
No.
Okay, so you're getting a whole different director for part 2.
Yeah, it was supposed to be this guy, but he bounced.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, so he's the director for this one, and he pulled out of it, which, I mean, the best question is that one there. Is it something where the money's better? And I think also just the fact of that, was it something where he felt like he wasn't going to be able to make the movie he wanted, just because you got to figure, to jump off a project like that, because I mean, Suicide Squad made a lot of money, regardless of quality of actor and whatever it was, that whatever anybody's hang up is, there was a lot of money that was made by that movie. So,
like,
I mean,
789 million, if I remember correctly.
Exactly. So it's just like,
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's a really high number. So it's just like, you know, if you throw your name attached to that, like, you know, it's a no-brainer. It's just like, this is going to make a ton of money. It's going to be, you know, like people went out and saw the first one, so why not jump on this?
But I think it's going to suffer if they don't have Harley Quinn in there, because weren't they supposed to have Killer Frost? Yeah. I mean, we don't know what Killer Frost might look like, but Harley Quinn already had such a following before the movie even came out. That's just my opinion. I think it's going to suffer if they don't have Harley in there.
I mean, there's that, but I also think that like the strength in casting was really what did it, because I mean they put Margot Robbie in it and she did a great job. And I said the same thing about Viola Davis. She did an awesome job in that movie.
Oh God!
And Will Smith did a really good movie. Yeah, Will Smith did a good job in that movie as well. It's just like, you know, you had people that did, you know, they did good jobs in the movie. Just there was some people that did some really shit jobs. Like Rick Flag did some shit. I didn't like Rick Flag at all. I couldn't stand him. Yeah, it's just like
kick your asses. Oh, man,
yeah. I mean, yeah. Oh, see,
the problem appearance by Batman.
The problem with Enchantress was she started out awesome. Like I was actually really excited in the beginning when I saw her. I was like, oh, she's gonna be fucking cool. And then, you know, the later on in the movie, she's doing that weird old hula dance, and you know, she goes from having, you know, whatever, speaking Latin or whatever it was, to just this really, really bad English accent. I was like, what the hell happened? So I mean, it's one of those things where I think that she being as good as she was, as cast as well as she was, really helped things out too. So it's something where I think that if Holly is not in it, I mean, whoever Killer Frost is going to have to be like the perfect cast and really just knock it out of the park, to, you know, and everybody else is going to have to step up and knock it out of the park too.
But you also are forgetting that they need to recast Joker, don't they?
Yeah. Joker's not going to be in the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, he's not going to be in it.
I mean, but here's my point. Movie, I think. Yeah, but you got two major characters that a lot of people went to go see, regardless of what the opinions and feedback were.
People knew that
they're not going to be in the film.
But that's the thing, that people didn't go to see the Joker because people knew straight out that people didn't like the look of him from the get-go. Like, because in the beginning, people were like, all right, Harley Quinn looks perfect, no problem, like that looks awesome, and then everybody else was criticizing Joker because of tattoos and all the rest of it, and people were like, well, it's not, you know, the Joker changes from time to time. You got to look, you know, give this guy a chance, check him out. Blah, blah. So people were already turned off by Joker just from the first actual press releases of how he was going to look. They were just like, I'm done with this guy. So I mean, for him specifically, I don't think not having him is going to make a difference. He's whatever, like he's garbage. So you throw his ass in the trash without even thinking twice and light it on fire.
Like his whole side plot for the movie was kind of unnecessary. You know, that could have been its own thing.
Exactly, and I think that would have been fine had they made, you know, a Joker Harley movie. No problem. You know, I think that they tried to focus too much on it because they knew that Harley was, you know, they knew that they had the perfect casting for her, so they wanted to maximize her time on screen. And it's just, you know, if they want to do that, just make a Harley Quinn movie, because that would have sold. People would went and saw it and been happy to see, you know, what happens next. But you know, now it's just kind of you know, it's after the fact, and you have to kind of, I mean, you've already signed on for a second movie, so now you have to, like I was saying earlier, everybody has to knock it out of the park and really, you know, figure out what they're gonna make, because if it doesn't make, I mean, if it doesn't hit that same benchmark, not too bad, but let's say it only makes like 400 million instead of making almost, you know, 800 million. You got to look at that as kind of a loss. So I figure they're going to throw some extra money into it to make, you know, that movie, because of the fact that it had such a high return on the first one.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of off topic, but you know, you guys mentioned David. Well, it's a David Ayer, but then Will Smith. Have you guys heard about his movie for Netflix called Bright?
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah. That looks crazy.
Will Smith, they were like, what's it about? Like, we can't really tell. So he's like, think about Lord of the Rings combined with Training Day.
Yeah.
That's what this movie is.
Yeah. It looks good. It like when
that's a pretty broad answer.
Well, you know, like, you know, cop in LA, you know, gritty on the streets, but you also happen to have some goblins running around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's fairy everything.
Yeah, I could see that because when I saw the trailer for what was it? I Am Legend.
Yeah.
Or I had no
I Am
idea what
Sam.
that was about. And then like when I went and saw it, I was like, oh dang, it's freaking zombies almost.
Yeah, it wasn't. It had its moments, but overall, it wasn't that good of a movie.
Yeah, no, I know, but the trailer alone, I didn't know what it was about.
If you watch the trailer for Bright, you'll understand what it's about.
Yeah, okay. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it definitely looks cool. It's a risk, you know, for him coming off of Suicide Squad to go there, but I guess, you know, with Netflix, they kind of prove that they'll really let the director or the writer, whoever it is, just really do their own thing, you know?
Yeah.
So
there's only one show that I've seen that they've kind of just they pretty much just squashed it before it, I think, had a chance to really get going, and that was that hip hop show, The Get Down. Season 2, you could tell, was like so far off from season 1. Season 1 was really good. Season 2 had its moments of being good, but then they were just like, you could tell just by the way it ended that they were done with it. They were just like, you know what, killing it right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it's just one of those things where you don't see Netflix step in too many times and just like cut a show down. So it's just like one of those things where the decision probably has already been made that we're not making it anymore. So I think that's why a lot of people are looking forward to getting in with Netflix, because, you know, they give you so much freedom to do what you want to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right. I cannot believe I skipped it. I think I skipped it. But we got to talk about it. We can't miss it. There's been a lot of news about Batman potentially being a metahuman.
Yeah.
So let's start at the beginning. It was Suicide Squad, issue 22, I believe, right?
Yep.
At the end. Spoiler if you haven't read it, you know, read it for a second. But at the end, Amanda Waller's talking to the team, and there's a screen, and you got Killer Frost and Batman up there. Their images. And she basically tells them to go after these two people who are identified as Meta. So everyone's like, "Oh, Amanda Waller's saying this. You know, Batman's Meta now. Holy shit, he's never been Meta. Like, one of the things about him is he's a human that can do meta-human things, basically." That was the big news. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that." But then it was basically the next day, Scott Snyder, who, if anybody's going to know about Batman, let me turn this down. I don't like the cruiserweights anyway. It was the next day. I'm pretty sure it was, if not like really soon after. But he basically goes, like, I don't want to speak for, you know, the people writing Suicide Squad, but Batman is not meta. He gets his powers from like stories, but he's never been meta in nature, like naturally meta.
Right.
That came from Zack Snyder, who, out of anybody, probably knows Batman the best, you know. So
yeah,
I take Snyder's word over Waller's word. So my thought is she's just lying to the team to get them to go after. Because if you look at the team, it was comprised of a lot of Batman villains.
Yeah.
So
maybe, I mean, because at this point, I mean, she knows, she's kind of like, in a way, like, you know, Nick Fury, where it's just like, I mean, she's had conversations with, you know, Batman as Bruce Wayne. Like, she knows who he is. So she knows that he doesn't have any special powers. So maybe, like you said, it's something where, I guess, to protect his identity as, you know, Bruce Wayne, or just to kind of keep up the mythos of Batman, he's meta. You know, I mean, you know, maybe she's trying to just kind of, like I said, protect him from being exposed to just a regular human. Like, I mean, maybe to those villains, there's got to be something special about him, because he keeps beating us over and over again, and there's just no way like any normal random person that we rob, beat up, or shake down in the street is going to be able to do that. But in the meantime, Batman is just that, with, you know, basically just an unlimited bankroll and tons of gadgets and, you know, stuff to get you with. He's a highly trained human.
Exactly.
That's his power. He's a freaking billionaire. Do whatever he wants.
Well, no, I mean, if you look
That's
at
what he said in the movie, right? Didn't he say that to the Flash?
Yeah, but if you were to, all right, if you were to give,
maybe she just thinks he's meta because there's no way a normal human could like make it through all the stuff he's made it through.
Yeah.
Like I would say like this: if you were going to make him into, some type of superpowered being, what would his powers be?
Luck.
I mean,
The power of deduction.
there's luck.
He keeps a 4-leaf clover on him at all times.
He would have to be luck.
I don't know about that though. I don't know about that, because you look at it, right? So you have luck on the one hand, but then it's just like I think his powers would end up being, that he's, extremely smart. So you have, just someone who's advanced level smart, like to the point of that, he's superhuman as far as what his intellect is, and then on top of that, he has an extremely just a really, really, really good memory. I think that could be a superpower of his as well. That how else could you like?
Wouldn't that? So you just described Lex Luthor, though. So is Lex Luthor a metahuman?
Well, in the way of that, I mean, does Lex Luthor know?
Lex Luthor's like a level 9 intellect. Blah 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 blah.
Okay, but then it's just like I'm thinking of it in terms of like, because Lex Luthor's not skilled in all these fighting styles and knows all these different tactics and all the rest of that type of stuff. Like it's just like. I just look at that. I'm not saying that Batman is. I'm saying that if you were going to give him that would be it. Like his intellect and the fact that he has an insane capacity to store memory, so that he could learn all those fighting styles, languages, know all these different tactics, study his enemies and know every last move that they're going to make. You know what I mean? All that type of stuff. It's just like when you look at it, it's just. I think that's the only part that you could make him as a meta, but I mean, it doesn't make him super powered, really. It's just he's just somebody who's just extremely focused. That's really what I think drives him, is that he's so focused on the task at hand.
Some people are saying that he wasn't born with the powers, but he developed them just from having the nth metal in close proximity to him.
And that could be it. He could get something like that, kind of like
rubbed off on him.
Right, but it's not going to last forever.
Yeah, like as soon as he has it, it'd be like the reverse of Superman with kryptonite.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So just having metas around him made him stronger.
I like what
the actual
said.
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Big E's
was saying that Batman kills the DC and Marvel universe. I mean, he definitely has the smarts to do that.
But then Batman would have to kill.
Yeah, and then I also think about the fact that the average person uses 10-15% of their brain. Batman could maybe use like 40%, which would make him, I guess, meta. But to make him with, I mean, is that a superpower? High intellect? I mean, I don't know. It could be, but I think one of the reasons why Batman became so popular throughout the decades is he was a grounded superhero. He was more relatable, I think, to the average person who took their bed sheet and put it around their neck and wanted to just be Batman, flying down the stairs and stuff like that. You give him superpowers, that kind of takes away from
change the whole character.
Yeah, it takes away the thing that made him so lovable and relatable to begin with.
I don't know. I mean, that's just the way I look at it. I think of him being. I mean, I don't think he's a meta really myself. I just think that, that's the way they're trying to write this and make it seem as though, that's the reasoning for it, is that he's a meta based on what she says. And I think I'm with Jesse, where I think it's just something that's just put out there in order to, play into the mythos that's been built up about him. Two villains that have been beaten by him that are superpowered, where it's just like, in order to not make them feel inferior, where it's just like, just some really skilled human is just beating the shit out of you left and right, and just stopping you every step of the way because he's smarter than you. I mean, like you gotta figure, if you have super, like if you are like Killer Frost or any of the other ones, if you're Killer Croc, I mean, literally, you're stronger than him. You can swim faster than him. You can tear him apart with your bare hands. Meanwhile, he smokes you every time he sees you. It's just like, what the hell? Like, something? There's got to be something about this guy, because it's just not normal that he's able to beat me.
Yeah. Well, villains must have developed an inferiority complex by now.
Seriously, if they knew he was just a regular human, absolutely.
Yeah, he reminds me a lot of Tony Stark. You got all the money and use the money to make your tech and all that stuff.
Except he's not. He's like the opposite type of personality.
Yeah, personality.
Tony's like out there, like, look at me, you know.
Yeah.
Paparazzi, I want you around. Yeah. But
Yeah.
but you know, it's like you said, to your point, you know, they're more relatable characters, right? That, you know, the tragedy in the past, and these people that were just normal and they just had a passion. Something happened where, you know, they developed where they could. And, became crime fighters, you know. So I hope they don't lose that part of Batman. Whatever they do with him, they got to keep that's the core of him, you know, that the tragedy there that really drives him. So
yeah, and the thing that's kind of funny too is that you almost have to wonder if DC's going to do damage control with that and be, look, we don't have to write another story in the Batman books that contradicts everything you're doing right now. So here's what we're going to do. You know, just figure out a way to, like, I mean, Amanda Waller could say whatever to somebody trusted. I just say that to make sure that they don't, you know, something that make it known. Like, if they knew they were getting beat by a regular human being, it would kill the team. So I had to say that. Something that makes sense with someone like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Just because you don't want to have to go back and try to rewrite. Like, that's what Marvel used to do a lot in the 90s. It's just like, you know, a different team would take over, and then all of a sudden everything that happened before would just kind of be thrown away. And you have to go ahead and explain away what happened back in the day, and then catch everybody up to what's happening now, and then go forward from there. It's just like, you don't want to do that. Just try to keep everything contained and just go forward with it.
Exactly. Yeah. So we'll have to watch closely and see what happens with it.
Yeah.
So let's get into books for tomorrow. What are you guys looking forward to? It guys in the chat as well. Ladies, hopefully there's some ladies there too. What are you looking forward to tomorrow?
Batman 28. Boom. There's a Neil Adams variant cover with Batman 28, but the regular cover I think looks better than the Neil Adams.
That's still in the Jokes and Riddles arc, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's gonna go on for about a year.
Yeah. A year, really?
Yeah. I think. I heard it was long. Well, no, never mind. Maybe it's 12 parts, but that would only be like a few months. Okay.
Yeah.
They have also a second printing of Batman and Elmer Fudd.
I saw that. I almost picked it up, but I was like, it's a second printing.
There's a, since we're on DC, there's a one-shot. New Gods looks pretty good. You should check
it's also $5 too.
$5 book, yeah.
New Gods special number 1.
Yeah.
Looking forward to Green Lanterns 28. Oh wow, I don't like that title. Locke's Killer. What? Why?
What is it?
There's a book. It's by Devil's Due. It's called Locke's Killer number 1.
Oh, that's not good.
No.
You're like, what did I do? Just read the book.
But actually, one thing I found really interesting is that there is going to be an Odd Gem cover for cover price, not a crazy variant, and that's for Robotech.
Yeah.
Which I was just like, wow, like, you know, I mean, usually you hit Odd Gem and you figure you got to send away for it, special order it, something, but pretty cool.
Yeah, I think we had 4 different covers for that. 3 or 4 different covers.
Yeah. There's a bunch.
The store variants, the one solicited. It's through Titan, I think, right? Is it?
Yep.
I remember.
Yeah, so the one solicited through Titan, get the store exclusives. There's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta be honest. We did the pull list. That's why I was late, but there just wasn't really a lot that I was excited about. I mean, there was some stuff, but
this is the first week in forever that I don't have any Marvel books on my list this week. Not a single Marvel title. That's insane for me.
Not even.
There's nothing.
Trying to think.
There's a cool one called Ghost Station Zero.
Yeah, Image.
Image. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Cold War era. It's from the creator of Atomic Blonde. I got the solicit up here. I'm like,
I saw that.
If you can
not Justin. Not even the True Believers. Black Panther number 1 and Captain America, Avengers number 4.
Nope.
Actually, there is something I'm excited for. I'll take that back. I know you guys don't read it, but there's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Dimension X, Part 1.
I thought you were gonna say Grumpy Cat Garfield.
Yeah.
Nah, heck no. I was like, what is this crap? Nah, Turtles in Dimension X. I mean, come on, we all grew up with.
There's
that's what
Krang is from,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
We got the neutrinos.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the neutrinos, and those rock monsters that Krang was in charge of.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
But
there's a new book coming out from Vault called Spiritus.
Yes, I saw that.
That looks pretty sweet. I'm gonna definitely pick that up.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny. There's one. I'm not gonna pick it up, but it's based off a based off a board game called Dead of Winter. It's a pretty involved board game, but looks kind of interesting. It's a zombie book, so it's just like though those are all at this point dime a dozen, but if you're into zombie stuff, that might spark your interest in the game, or if you played the game and you like it, there's a book for it now, so check it out.
Oh, speaking of zombies, I did get my copy of Train 8, number 1 that Jesse was talking about. So
did you like it?
I'm really excited about that. I didn't read it. I kind of flipped through it, but I couldn't go home with it just yet, but definitely excited about that.
The movie Train to Busan is up on Netflix if anybody wants to watch it. It's got subtitles. It's a South Korean movie.
Yep.
Going from, I think, Seoul to Busan. And the zombie outbreak happens, and but check it out.
That's what the comic is based on.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, it's from that, and then this movie. It says it right on the cover, the back, I think.
Yeah, but it says like a major motion picture. I'm like,
it'll be called Train 8 Zombie Express or something along those lines.
Oh, so it's going to be turned into like an American version.
Exactly right. So
I got you.
The original that was Train to Busan. The adaptation will be Train 8.
Okay.
Which is the name of the book too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. So it's funny that DC is putting out the Jack Kirby book. Because Marvel's doing the True Believers Jack Kirby's this week as well.
Yeah, and then you got Black Panther and
Captain America,
Yeah.
which is basically Avengers before.
That's good stuff to have, man. I'm glad you brought that up, Jesse, because for those guys that can't afford those original books, I mean, dude, for $1, shoot, snag them.
Edwin, you're terrible. I asked Justin, I was like, you're not excited about these? I said that about 10 minutes ago. Oh,
well, my shop doesn't.
I was looking at the chat. I'm sorry.
My shop, so I pick them up whenever. Like, there's not a high demand for those. There's tons of the True Believer book. Yeah, I mean they're $1 books. They're like Image First. Nobody wants them.
No, it's funny because like in my local shop, some of those go really quickly. Like
I think it depends on where you're at.
Yeah, like the X-Men giant size and X-Men #1, I couldn't even touch. Like those are going to my store.
They're still on the shelf at my shop.
Yeah, like they sold right out, and then I'm trying to think I think it was the Amazing Fantasy 15 one sold right out too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, just like everyone was saying, like those are cool just because if you can't have the actual original, you at least can see the story and check it out, and some of those too, they give you a little bit extra, I think, because Amazing Fantasy 15, I think they gave an extra story that didn't come as a part of the original book. So, those I was with you, Justin, where it's just like, oh, the $1 books don't get. But then again, it's just like when I start seeing like books that like I know I can't afford and probably never will be able to. I do get a little bit excited to see them, so I can just be all right. Let me pick these up because this is kind of cool. To at least say that I read it.
Yeah.
So and it's only $1. It's not like it's paying like $8, $9 or something stupid like that. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if tomorrow's a light week for new books, it's definitely the time to do like what Chris always says: pick up a few back issues.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's right. You pick up them back issues, no one just like pick them up. Because I don't want to send people into the poorhouse. Like, pick up some back issues. I can't pay my rent anymore. But look, I did not tell you to stop your priorities. No, but if you can afford them, go for it, man. Just because August is another 5-week month. So there's definitely going to be at least 1 or 2 slow weeks that something's going to come out. Or you're not going to have much going on. If you can afford it, get it, man.
Let me tell you something. Since you bring, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Justin. I'm gonna let you go.
What?
Go ahead, Justin. I thought you were gonna say something.
Go ahead.
I was at a couple shops this week. Man, I got my eye on 2 books I've been thinking about. Okay, so I was randomly in a shop and talking to a guy, and he has a book laid out, and it's the first appearance of Mr. Freeze.
Yeah,
nice.
It's what is it? Batman 121 or something like that. Mm-hmm. Anyways, dude, do you know how much that book goes for? Even a ratty copy?
35 cents.
At least $300. Even like a 1.5 or 2.0. You're talking $300.
Yep.
Ratty. I couldn't believe it. I just been thinking about the past couple of days. I'm like, man, should I try to make a move on it?
You're like me with that CAF 100.
Exactly. Hey, that's what I was thinking about. And then our LCS has probably at least a 9.6 copy of First Gambit. Uncanny 266.
Yeah.
Nice, sharp copy.
Yeah. Now, is it raw or is it graded?
No, both of them are raw.
You might want to check the graded price of the 266, just because if the raw price at the store rivals the graded one, just get the graded one.
Well, I'm in that. I don't really buy too many graded books anymore unless I'm going to sell it or unless it has some kind of sentimental value.
Yeah, so buy it graded, send it out.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying. No, but well, I'm going to tell you one of the things that, like, if I get a 2.5 of that first Mr. Freeze, Dr. Freeze, whatever his name is, raw, it's like 300-400, but graded, it's like 900. So, if anything, that I would be tempted to get and maybe get graded. But yeah, I get what you're saying about the rival raw and graded copy of 266.
And certain times, some books do make more sense to buy graded. It's just like, just get it guaranteed rather than, if you see the raw price creeping up to what you can get a graded book for. It's a no-brainer. Like, I can give a story today. Like, I was on a group on Facebook, and the person was saying that they were trying to sell. They had a bunch of these really nice and crisp Transformer #1s, and the little price tag on it said $95, and I was just like, it's a little high for a book that's not graded, like, for Transformers #1. And people were trying to justify it. No, because it's worth 125 raw. You'll see 9.2 and Overstreet says this, and I was like, I don't give a shit. Like, I'm looking at it where it says $95. That's too much. And so I went on eBay, and I'm just looking. I'm like, dude, I see some of these that, like, he's saying, well, it's 9.4 or better. I would say probably strong 9.6. So that's what I looked up, and I'm like, these two prices are way too close together. I already have my raw, so I'm not gonna sit there and go out and buy it. But if I was tempted to do it, that's what I would have gone with. So it's like, I'm not paying $95. That's stupid. But in terms of that, Mr. Freeze, I don't know. You're on your own there. Like, you gotta do what you gotta do. Because when it comes to big books like that are expensive, that especially if you're trying to sell them or whatever, it's tough. It's hard to lay off of them, and it's also hard to pull the trigger just because it's just the uncertainty of whether you're gonna get the money you're looking for versus or if you're just like I really want to keep this. I don't know.
Yeah, I have to be honest. If I got it at a decent deal, I'd probably just keep it, just because those books are hard to come by.
Yeah, that's one to keep.
Yeah. What you got there, Justin?
This is a little foster puppy that I got right now.
What's his name?
Her name is Scrappy.
Scrappy Doo?
Scrappy Doo.
Scrappy Doo.
Nice.
Hey, did you guys mention the Marvel Capcom variants tomorrow?
Yeah, I saw that. For the Spider-Man and Deadpool.
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
Yeah, they look pretty cool, but it's tough if it's not on a book that you really want, though. It's just like
exactly.
Kind of like those Jim Lee covers, the Jim Lee Todd covers.
Card variants,
Yeah, it's just like, dude, I mean, I think Amazing Spider-Man was Bishop, and it looked cool, but it's just like, this is just strange to have Bishop on Amazing Spider-Man. And then there was one that was Professor X, and I was like, this isn't helping anybody. Nobody.
I know, right? Nobody's getting Professor X.
I got a couple of them, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, more power. I mean, if you like those, hey man, more power to you. But like for me, I was just like,
I had to get the Psylocke one.
Yeah,
I got the Psylocke one.
Yeah, I did too.
Then,
I got the ones that were on books that I would normally get anyway.
Yeah, Deadpool was on the Deadpool book, so that one made sense.
Yeah,
and, Jim Lee, Deadpool drawing, can't go wrong there.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually did get it is random, I will admit it, but I did get the Spidey one with Bishop. Yeah, it was cover price. It was next to it. I said, what the hell,
Because he's from the future.
Yeah. And then I got one. There's two. If you look in the back of them, it gives you a gallery of all the whole card set. And there's two store exclusives. One had Strife, and the other one was for Magic.
Nice.
So I had to get the Magic one.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes the variants work out for you. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's just like you just look at it and you're like, oh my goodness. Like why?
I get the ones that I like. I don't get them to like.
Yeah, of course.
Expect they're going to be anything anytime.
No, not for. I mean, just it's tough, and that I think for me with variants ends up being some of the hardest part. Where it's just like I actually end up opening up the cover just to be like, okay, how far removed from the art inside the book is it? If it's really like to the point where I'm going to open the book and be like, I don't get the variant because it's just like I don't want to look at this beautiful cover, open it up and be like, shit.
That's why you got to buy the regular cover too.
Kiss my ass! I ain't sitting there paying all that kind of money. Like, no way.
Send it off to get graded. It's in a slab. You can't read it anyway. All you can look at it at the cover.
Look, don't feed the beast. Let him stay. In
a cage.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if you get it graded, then it's like, oh yeah. And if I get it graded, then it's all good. No.
Yeah.
I got you to rationalize it that way.
Then you can just. By the time you get a new book and you send it off and get it graded, by the time you get it back graded, you can just read it on Marvel Unlimited.
There you go. That's true.
No, I'm all good. Trust me. Like I said, don't feed the beast. The beast needs to just stay like I was in his cage and just like I'm doing
a lot of options, man. We're here to help.
On top of that, too, it's kind of good that this is a lighter week for me, just because, like I said before, 2 weeks and then there's Boston Comic-Con time, so it's just kind of like saving my money. Hopefully, like to get something signed, to pick up some dollar bin books, and then the hottest part about it is that my wife's birthday is the day before Comic-Con, so it's just like I'm gonna be spending money right. So I'm gonna be spending money right before. I go to
ticket.
There you go. Get her a ticket to Boston Comic-Con.
Yeah, surprise! Look over here.
Right? No.
Right?
Nope. Like my wife would not have fun there. I already know that. Not because it's comics or anything like that. It's just it's a bigger venue, so there's gonna be a lot more people. So she's not gonna be like one of those.
Well, we didn't say you were doing it for her. You're just getting her a ticket. It's really for you. But
that's a homer.
That'd be one of the celebrity appearances that she likes. So get her like the ticket for that.
Literally, there's no one there. If it was Disney characters, she'd be all about it. But
yeah,
she's not about it.
Trying.
Oh.
Cool.
All right. So I think that's it for books and everything for coming out tomorrow. Not a whole lot of stuff there, but a couple things that we'll be picking up. So definitely be looking out for all of our individual channels. We'll have the haul videos up hopefully for most of us this week.
Eventually.
Let's go around and do some final shout outs and thoughts and all that good stuff. So we started with Chris. Let's start with Chris again.
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody who came in and hung out with us. It was really great with you guys talking to us in the chat, being really active in all our different topics. Just had a lot of fun, interacting with everybody, having some, just great conversation, great little arguments here and there as well. But definitely just a fun time. So really excited to be here for 51. 52 is going to be something really awesome, just for the fact that like Jesse said, 1 full year's worth of shows. Like if you watch it one a week for the next 52 weeks, guess what? In a year, you'll be all caught up, I guess, if you started back with episode 1. But with that, man, I just want to shout out to everybody that came in. Again, thank you for making this so fun. We enjoy being out here for you guys. So thanks for watching.
Sweet. Yeah. So it would be, if we average about an hour and a half per episode, that's 78 hours of enjoyment.
Wow.
Awesome.
We start at the beginning.
So that's like a whole weekend. You can just binge that.
Yeah, right? You can do it with Netflix. Wow. You can do it with this show, too.
178 hours.
Yeah. All right, Edwin. What you got?
Just thanks for everybody for watching. I'm super tired, so hope you guys get some good stuff. I say go get some back issues tomorrow.
Yeah,
that's right.
Go get some good back issues. Maybe get a key. Don't go broke, but definitely have fun with it and enjoy yourselves tomorrow.
If you can get a key, get a key. If not, them dollar bins always have something nice in there. Oh,
get a key, get a filler. Doesn't matter. Buy a book.
That's right. That's right. So long as let's put it this way: if it's more than 5 years old, that's enough of a back issue for me. I don't care what it is. Go for it.
That's right. Amen to that. All right, Exile, you're up to
same. Thanks everybody for showing up in the chat. Definitely we had a ton of topics. It was a lot of fun this week. I hope everybody had a good time. The chat was definitely moving like it normally does. So yeah, and I mean, think about it. Most back issues at your local shop in their non-dollar bins are going to be in the same price range as a new book anyway.
That's right.
So you might as well just substitute a couple back issues in there. I would say that would be a good job. I know I've got tons of runs that I'm trying to fill in. So
got the runs?
Yep.
Got tons of runs. Not the. But yeah, so yeah, just looking forward to a kind of lighter week. Yeah.
Awesome.
Super pumped.
Sweet. All right, very good. Yeah, lots of fun stuff we talked about tonight. We covered a lot of pretty good topics, and we did indies, we did Marvel, we did DC, TVs, movies. You know what I mean? A lot of different, a lot of range there. So I like that, and I liked all the contribution, like you guys said, from everybody in the chat. So I will piggyback on that. Pick up some back issues. Make sure it's something you love. Make sure it's something you like reading too. So you will cherish that back issue you buy or two. That's what we always say here. Collect what you love, and you can never go wrong with that, right? That's going to do it for episode 51, guys. We'll see you next week for episode 52. Have a good night.
Bye.
Hey, everybody.